Welcome to the Sellernomics podcast. In today's episode, we'll be featuring one of the many great tools and software available to Amazon sellers to help you grow your FBA business. A special thank you to our sponsor, Getida, the global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements. Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at Getida.com/Sellernomics. Now it's time to show us what you got with your hosts, Rob Stanley and Lisa Kinski.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Sellernomics. Show us what you've got. My name is Lisa Kinski, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob Stanley. And we have with us today Jon Tilley from ZonGuru. He is going to be sharing with us some cutting-edge software to help grow brands on Amazon. We're going to be taking a look behind the curtain of the ZonGuru tool, and I'm really excited to see this dashboard. But first, let's welcome our guest to the stage. Jon, how are you?
Hey guys, what's happening? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, dear. So this is a pretty straightforward episode, Jon. We're here to see the ZonGuru tool and see what you guys can do. So without further ado, show us what you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely, there's a lot to show you guys. So I'll keep it focused and feel free to navigate me as we go, because you guys know best what our listeners want to know about. I'll start off with this is our homepage. We're an operational tool set for brands that sell on Amazon and also for agencies that manage clients. We service both those audiences. And you can jump onto our website, zonguru.com. If you want to do an interactive demo, you can just literally click on this button. We'll load up the tool and you can poke around and actually see what the tool looks like with data in it. Obviously, you can watch this episode and you'll get a good sense of it as well. So this is the homepage. We also do have a done for you where not only can you use the tech, but we'll help you use it on your business. And you can just click on this button up here and go check out our growth audit and qualify. And if you're a brand that is established and you want additional help with the tech, we can do that for you. So just click on it right here. I want to go over, I don't know if we're coming to the pricing at the end or if I should just at a high level cover this for the audience here. Okay, cool. So we have basically two packages. If you're researching and you're not yet selling on Amazon, you can go ahead and sign up to this package over here. And if you're a seller, go ahead and sign up here and you get access to all of our tools. And this is SKU based. So 1 to 20 all the way up to 1,000 plus. The max you would pay is about $160 a month. And the minimum you would pay as a seller would obviously be $49 a month. So we really try and give sellers a way of getting in and scaling as obviously we scale and you use more data on the platform. But we max out at that higher price point of $159. And for the agencies, you would sign up. There's a slightly different structure there. It's not SKU based, it's flat fee based, and it's a sub account based per client. And all kind of internal seats are free, which is a pretty cool thing for agencies. So that in a nutshell is, our different packages and the way you can contact us. Let's jump in. I want to show you inside of the tool and we'll cover some of the basic tools that we have, as well as I'll jump in and show you some specifics around an example, just so you can really see how the tool works. This is ZonGuru. So you'll jump in. I think one of the things that a lot of customers will say to us is they like the way that we do our UX and the color scheme, which is nice and soft on the eyes, which everyone does like. We chose that color very specifically. You have about 18 tools that you have access to, plus a whole bunch of additional reporting that is white label, everything from kind of niche potential analysis, market analysis, market share analysis, TAM analysis, everything around the potential for products and niches on Amazon, all the way through to financial reporting, which is white label in fashion, both for brands and for agencies, and a few other aspects in between. So using our data, our APIs to really populate reports. So that is in addition to our platform of tech in the app. So I just want to mention that. We're not going to cover that today, but that is available. Inside of the app, you have again, all of the tools across the key parts of your Amazon business: product research, niche validation, listing optimization, which is our flagship products around keyword intelligence, SEO, business metrics, dashboards, monitoring, alerts, review automation, there again, a substantial amount of tools. So what I want to cover for you today is we're going to jump into our flagship tools around listing optimization. And I'll do that in about a minute. I want to just, high level, the type of data that you get. This is our dashboard. Our dashboards are dashboards, which are, so I'm not going to get into detail on everything on a dashboard, but what is interesting on our dashboards is we do look at every tool with this idea of context. So we want to make sure we can show you data, but also the context of why it's happening, how it's happening, what are competitors doing. And a very easy way to see that in our dashboard is, our historical tracking, this is revenue and profits, and this is sessions and conversion percent. But what is interesting is we have the ability to automatically track events for your brands, but also your main competitor brands, and then insert that into our dashboard, right? So for example, if you see a spike in sales and you're like, I can't remember, why did that happen? I can click on the event here, and the event will tell me, hey, you changed your price and your competitor ran out of stock, and that's why your revenue jumped, right? So those are some interesting things that we have in our dashboard, which is the ability to have context of not just what are you doing with your brands, but what are your competitors doing in the space. And that's a very constant theme that we have across all of our tools that I'll show you in a second. So everything in your operational dashboard you have here, and then you can jump into the different tools on the left-hand side. The ones I want to show you today is around keywords on fire, which is creating the keywords that you should be indexed for in your listings. And then I'll talk about the listing optimizer, and I'll show you also our AI aspect of that, which is we were the first in the space to integrate AI, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let's start off with an example. I think if I start with an example, it'll be the best way to show you how the tool works. So here we go. The one I just typed in literally just before jumping on the session is, I picked headlamp for hiking. So you can see obviously the Amazon page with all the sellers on here. What's pretty interesting to me is I always like to look at listings and just see where some opportunity is. Obviously there's a motion sensor, whether the hand is the best use there. But what I can see here is there's certainly a lot of different ways that the initial image is being displayed. To me, there's a lot of real estate on this headband over here that could be used to make you stand out from the competition. So just as a side note, I think there's some pretty interesting ways of doing better with these headlamps than what I can see right now on page one. The one that I picked out is one to optimize and just look at, hey, how is it ranking in comparison? I just obviously look further down the page. On page one, I picked out this Lee Pro, this one here, and I'll show you, we'll add it to the tool and I'll show you how we can actually optimize it. What's interesting, you can pull up our Chrome extension. You can see the niche potential, how strong the competition is, how the buy demand, how much monthly revenue it does, how much you need to in capital to launch it. There's a bunch of data points in here. One of the other pretty interesting ones is from brand analytics. We display the ones that are getting the most clicks and conversions. You can see number one over here, number three. That's always interesting to sellers. We do have a profitability calculator you can click on and check out a whole bunch of data around the profits, the costs of shipping, storage, etc. So play around with the profit calculator as well. These are the kind of things that you can get access to, obviously, as part of our Chrome extension. And the goal of this keyword intelligence that I'm going to show you right now is like, how do we take this guy down here, right? Where is he? Right, Lee Pro. I think I skipped him, but he's over here somewhere. Lee Pro, and how do we move him up the page to have this guy right here? How do we move him up so he can compete with the best listings on page one? And that's what we're going to show you inside of Zonguru right now. So the simple way to do that is you'll jump into Zonguru and you would go to Listing Optimizer and click on Keywords on Fire, and you would create a session around headlamp for hiking. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'll click on the data and pull up what the keyword data looks like for this niche of headlamp for hiking. Now, what Keywords on Fire does the best at in the industry is finding all of the most impactful, relevant keywords that customers are actually typing into that localized marketplace and we'll show you those keywords. And then we also overlay that with competitive data. So out of all of the competitors in that niche, where are they strong, where are they weak, and how do you beat them, right? And so I'll show you how you can see that inside of Zonguru. So this tab right here is keywords analysis, the keyword side of it, analysis. So you'll see your keywords, a relevancy score, search volume, historical search volume, how many competitors out of the top 25 rank for that keyword, and then a bunch of other data points here, right, that you can look at: percentage in title, PPC bid, and here's all the keywords. Okay. Now you can filter these keywords in a number of different ways. I'll show you that in a second. But what is interesting is, outside of these are the best keywords that you should be adding to your listing, we also give you an SEO analysis across your competitor set. So I clicked on the tab for SEO analysis. You can see out of all of the competitors in here, you can actually see which ones are very strong, which ones are good, weak, what's the strength across each of these competitors, right? From an SEO, how strong are the competitors in this niche? And what's really interesting is you can click on the keyword view and you can see, hey, for all of the keywords, how are my competitors ranking all the way up to position 300? So I can see here, this guy's really, the best competitor in the space is really well ranked for a lot of keywords, right? So is this guy, so is this guy. Now what I did is I just filtered out, and here's Lepro. You can see him here. Now this guy's on page 1, but look at how many keywords he's not even indexed for, right? Headlamp is one word. He has a whole bunch of keywords he's indexed for, but the green means there's opportunity for him to improve, right? And he's in position 168. I mean, there's a whole bunch of keywords this guy's not indexed for that he should be indexing for. So how do we find those keywords? And more importantly, how do we make sure he's indexing for those keywords? So it's a pretty interesting view to be able to see, hey, compared to my competitors, how do I actually rank on those keywords, and where do I need to index? And I can even sort this by, clicking on this guy right here and looking at all the keywords that he ranks for, right? So I can see everything here. So these are the kind of things that you can easily do in our keyword tool. The rubber meets the road, obviously, when we put it into the SEO tool, and I'm going to show you that right now. So I want to show you one other thing very quickly, but let's go find this Lepro guy. I want to show you all the keywords he's not indexed for and what's the value of those, right? So I'm going to go down and just find this guy. Actually, let me just grab the ASIN. 1 second. All right, so let's go over here. Okay, so here's all the keywords I'm going to change this to 200. So I want to show you, here's all the keywords that he hasn't indexed for and what's the value of those keywords. If I look up here, there's 196 keywords that he hasn't even indexed for, and the search volume value is 276,000, and the top sellers on those keywords do 2.7 million. So there's a lot of keywords here that he has not indexed for that he still needs to get into his listing, and at least make sure it's indexed so that you can guide the algorithm, right? Now remember, the Amazon algorithm, whether it's semantic or whether it's taking the exact keyword that you have in there to help with ranking, your job as a seller is to give a great listing that connects with your customers, but also guides the algorithm as to what is important for you to index for in the algorithm, right? So it's important to make sure you rank for the right keywords. Okay, so again, you can filter by relevant keywords, recommended keywords. You can save all the different views. There's a lot of SOPs and ways that you can use the data here, but at the high level, you want to find the best keywords to put in a listing or into a PPC, and then also be able to understand where's the opportunity and filter for different competitors and see what that list looks like. And you can do that all very easily inside of the tool. All right, so rubber meets the road. Let's look at a listing optimization for headlamp for hiking. And I've loaded this just before the session, and I want to show you what I've actually done here, which is important in understanding how you should go about looking at optimizing your storefront. I don't know if it's sharing, but it looks like it's a little. There we go. Okay. All right. So headlamp for hiking. What I've done on the left side is I've loaded all of the keywords from the Keywords on Fire session. So I've literally just gone import, and I've loaded all these keywords right into the session. It gives a bunch of data points on here. I'll come back to that in a second. And then on the right side, what's really cool about our tool is that you can load one listing, which is your brand, your current listing. You can load a blank listing, but you can also load as many competitor listings as you want. And we always recommend at least loading 3 to 4 of your competitor listings with the idea of the context. How do I look at my listing versus the top sellers, the top organic ranked listings on page one? How do they score versus mine, and how do I beat them, right? If you can beat them, then you can literally scratch that itch and go, hey, I've got the best listing on page one. So I simply hit add, I search, and I add a few listings, which I've done. And you can see I've loaded the top competitors, 1, 2, 3, right? And I've also loaded Vpro over here. And then I've done an AI listing over here. So I'll come back to that in a second. But you can see at a high level, the best listing on page one has an optimization score of 45,000 and a listing strength of 7.5. We'll focus on the optimization score. Don't worry about what the number means. Just see that it's the highest out of all of these, right? 45,000, 26, 42, 32, right? So it's got a really good optimization score, which we have an algorithm that runs, and it understands for the most relevant, impactful keywords. How is that added to the listing? Is it exact match, broad matched, title, bullets, back in search terms, description, etc.? We load all of that, and as soon as you add the listings, we'll load. You can see all of the content, title, bullets, description, and interestingly, back in search terms. So we load everything from a SEO perspective into the listing, and then we see how well it's rated, and how well it's optimized on these. And certainly you can see keywords here that in dark green that should be added to improve the listing. So it's a really good tool because you can see, hey, what's the best listing on page one? And I can take my Lepro right here and I can improve it, right? I can say, hey, I've only got a score of 32,000. How do I improve this listing? Well, most important would be to broad match on a lot of the terms. And, I can broad match. These are somewhere in the listing. I can broad match. I can also add these words. So for example, if I add the word lights, right, I can just manually write that into the listing. And it's going to, as I add things into the listing, the algorithm will rerun and the score will start to improve. So the idea is to really look at it, understand, hey, what is missing? And then what do I need to add to start to improve the listing? And you can see as I add it, it's going to start to improve and better your score. And that's the idea, is improve the listing. And when you're happy with the final listing, you can literally hit publish on Amazon. You can connect it to your storefront, and you can publish it directly from our platform right into Amazon, into your parent or your child variations, and then move on to the next listing. So it's very quick at being able to assess the strength of your listing, how to improve it, make adjustments, and then publish it to Amazon. Now, the last piece on that is obviously you can use AI to write a listing. Now, you can use our AI to rewrite. For example, if you don't like this bullet, you can rewrite the bullet. You can just literally click on this wand. You can put in some settings. You can hit generate. You can even tell the AI what to write. Hey, write 500 characters focusing on this benefit, and it will actually do that for you. So you're literally engaging with ChatGPT. You can direct it, or you can ask it to write stuff. You can also select specific keywords that you want it to focus on, and you can rewrite certain bullets. And you can do that for your whole listing. You can also do it from scratch. So I can go in here. I can just go AI generate, and I can put in some settings. What's the name of my brand? I just put JT. You can write a long tail product description. You can negative match on brand terms against terms of service. You can change your tone. Language is built in. And then you literally take a minute and a half, it will run, and you'll produce a listing like this, right? So this is one I've just done before this session. You can see it's got a pretty good score, 39,000. So at a baseline, it's up there. And you can see why. Look, it's exact match, which is the close star. And then it's broad matched on a bunch of terms, right? Which is really good for the algorithm in the title, right? So it's done a pretty good job. It's put the brand first, JT, LED, headlamp, flashlights, lumen, 6 modes, headlamp, hiking, adults and kids, benefit first, followed by description, all across here, a full description, and your back-end search terms. So that's your baseline that you've got in a minute and a half. And then you can finesse it. You can add, you can see here all the kind of words you should add. You can see the deduped keywords that are missing, or these ones, like this is a brand name, but I didn't clean the set before. But if there are specific keywords that are missing, you can add them, and then you'll get the best listing on page one, and you can push that across. So that's the listing optimizer. I can show you very quickly. Well, let's just do one from scratch so you can see exactly how it works. So I've just deleted the content of this listing. We are running a bit slow today, so I don't know why it's taking a minute, but that's okay.
There's so many people using the tool, John.
It's not, I think it's either my internet or maybe it's just through, sometimes when you share through a platform, it goes a little slower. But so you can see this is an AI listing that's totally empty, right? We've got a score of 0. That's 0. I can go AI generate. I've added I just added that description, the same description. I haven't selected any specific keywords, so it's using all of them to prompt the AI, and then I just hit generate. It's going to take a minute to generate. While you wait, you can open other tabs, or you can, we have a few did you knows that you can follow along with to help you improve. And you can see us writing the listing as we go. And we should be finished in, looks like less than a minute, which is great.
I like this progress bar. It almost looks like a Domino's pizza tracker. You know exactly what's going on.
I like that.
The truck's pulling up.
Yeah.
We should change it to a slice of pizza or something. Yeah.
There you go. All right.
And we've generated a listing. You can see it's written in here. It's just scoring it right now. Typically this happens straight away, but there's obviously a bit of a delay. But you can see how it's written in the listing. JT, headlamp, 1500, multi-mode, red light, waterproof, adjustable, perfect for running, different to how I wrote the first one, right? Versatile, superior brightness, etc. Full description, back end. The score is slightly lower, and you can see why. So 28,000. So not the best AI right now. Typically it's up there with the best. This is obviously a pretty competitive category, but you can see, there are a few keywords that aren't added. I can go ahead and just copy these, add them, just go ahead and paste it in here. Whatever I want to do, I can obviously add it how I want to add it to make sense. But as I add that, it's going to get better and better and improve the listing in a couple of seconds. And then once you're happy with it and we get up to the right kind of score, we would just publish it to Amazon. So you can see, already we're starting to improve the score, right? So you can see how to improve the score. But more importantly, you're getting that baseline that is written in the right way for Amazon algorithm in that minute. And then you use that to really bring your creativity, expertise, finesse it further, and then you publish it directly to Amazon.
So, John, obviously, you're when you're adding keywords, you got to make sure the keyword, if it's like a specific feature, that your actual headlamp in this case has that feature, right? You don't just start keyword stuffing, I guess, with information that's not included or part of your product.
100%. Yeah, you've got to make sure these are relevant. Now, the idea is that all of these keywords that we have in here are very relevant for your product. But certainly that's why you have to bring the human expert element, like eye to it. You can look at it and be like, if there isn't something that is not relevant, you can remove it. And definitely in the AI over here, in the settings, you can negative match on specific keywords. So brand terms that are not relevant that you really don't want it to use, you can put it in there. If something doesn't make any sense and you want to rewrite it completely, you can obviously prompt it correctly and say, hey, focus on this. So there's a lot of ways that if your baseline is not exactly where you want it, you can coach the AI on doing a better job and matching it. But the relevancy is here, right? So this is the ZG score. So all your relevant keywords are already here. Your non-relevant keywords on the back end, right? You can see all of these are not added, right? So you can use this relevancy score to guide how you want to write the listing.
That is awesome. And you've already showed us so much power and how useful this tool is. And there's so many features on that left-hand menu that we haven't even tapped into yet. So we're actually going to stop there. We're going to keep folks wanting more. And John, will you let everybody know where they can reach out to you and learn more about Zonguru? I mean, we kind of already dropped the website. We gave the pricing. Now it's just if they have questions, where can they reach you?
Yeah, if you want to reach me, feel free to go to zonguru.com. We have a little chat right here you can use. You can certainly email me, Jon @zonguru.com. You can get me on LinkedIn. Plenty of ways to get in touch. And I would say, if you are a brand and you want to use a tech, just jump in and sign up. You get a 7-day free trial. If you're an agency, connect with us from the enterprise side, and we'll walk you through how our agency features work and the pricing around that. And certainly if you're a more established brand and you want some of that done for you type of help, you can connect with us and we'll run you through our process of how we can help you to better organic ranking on Amazon, which is obviously your most profitable sales. And you can connect with us, literally through the top of the website, and we'll go from there.
Fantastic.
Nice.
And again, that's zonguru.com. You can email Jon directly at john@zonguru.com. Thank you so much for walking us through this super powerful tool you have. And yes, I like kind of the muted color scheme. It is much easier on the eyes than some of the high contrast tools that are out there. So thank you for taking the user into consideration with that.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the time.
Of course. And thank you so much for everyone who tuned in today. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts with us in the comments, subscribe to the show, and we will see you all on the next one.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Sellernomics podcast. Special thanks to our sponsor, Getida. Did you know that Amazon probably owes you money for FBA reimbursements? Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at Getida.com/Sellernomics. Be sure to join us again next week for more great tips on how to grow your business. And thanks again for listening.